Hi Warriors, it's Miss Nickley and I'm coming to you in the month of April to read you another book about someone who has autism. Her name is Dr. Temple Grandin, and this story is a picture book of snapshots of her life. She'd be a great person to research if you are finished with your other distance learning activities and lessons and you are interested in learning more about autism and you want to see what she's all about. I'd love for you to type it in. There's some YouTube videos on her, and there's lots and lots of articles written, and you can even see her give speeches on YouTube. So her name is Dr. Temple Grandin. And at the end of this book reading, I'm going to show you an activity that you can do if maybe you're not a researcher, but you want to be an artist. There's some things that we're going to do that's a little bit similar to what we learned about Dr. Temple Grandin. So here we go. Happy Autism Awareness Month. And I hope that you had your blue on earlier this week on April 2nd for World Autism Awareness Day. If you didn't, if you missed that day, put on blue today. And when someone asks you why you have blue on, you can tell them it's for autism awareness. The Girl Who Thought in Pictures, the story of Dr. Temple Grandin. The author of this book is Julia Finley Mosca, and it's illustrated by Daniel Riley. If you've ever felt different, if you've ever been low, if you don't quite fit in, there's a name you should know. Temple Grandin's that name. In her tale, you'll find glory. So get ready, get set for this cowgirl's true story. In the city of Boston, one hot summer day, a sweet baby was born. It was Temple, hooray! Unique from the start, an unusual girl, she loved spinning in circles and watching things twirl. We talked about things that spin with our book, Uniquely Wired. But some things she hated, like certain sounds, or bright, crowded places, large cities and towns. Frilly dresses with tags made her itch, pull, and tug. Something else that she hated, a big, squeezy hug. Do you remember our other story we read? And Zach talked about that he didn't really like big, squeezy hugs either. A shy loner, this Temple, but when she got mad, when her feelings of stress and frustration got bad, quite a tantrum she'd throw. Kick, holler, bang, shriek! Yet, still, by age 3, not a word did she speak. She'll never be normal, was what some did say. Her brain's not quite right, you must send her away. Away? Not my Temple, her mother proclaimed. We will figure this out. You should all be ashamed. What do you know about brains working differently? Do you and your friends, do all of your brains work the same? No, everybody's made very differently and very creatively. And people with autism have special things about their brain with how they're wired. Then little by little, though sometimes she balked, special teachers helped Temple. And one day, what did she do? She talked. And that thing with her brain, it was autism, you see. She was different, not less, they all finally agreed. Like most kids her age, she loved ice cream and art. Touch your nose if you like ice cream and art. Yeah, I at least like one of them. But the way Temple thought, that's what set her apart. If something was mentioned, for instance, a fly, in her mind, she'd see dozens of photos buzz by. Remember the name of this book? The Girl Who Thought in Pictures. That's right. So see, if somebody said the word fly, this is how she processes what a fly is. And she thinks in pictures. When the time came for school, let's just say that was hard. Kids taunted and chased her all over the yard. Do you know what taunted means? That's right, they were making fun of her. They picked on poor Temple, how crazy it drove her. They teased her for saying things over and over and over and over and over. until finally she snapped. What do you think she did? Yes, she did. Lost her cool, threw a book at a kid, and was kicked out of school. No one really got Temple, but well, then again, the truth of it was Temple didn't get them. You need time away, said her mom. That's what's best. You'll go visit your aunt on a ranch way out west. Has anybody been to a ranch before? And guess what? Fitting in on a farm was less stress, since the pigs didn't care if her hair was a mess. Quite a sweet spot she had for the cows and their herds, such big, gentle beasts who knew nothing of words. So what is she saying right now? Can cows speak? So the cows were kind of similar to her. They didn't really say a lot of words, or they didn't say any words, and Temple didn't speak a lot either. As she watched her new friends, a thought popped in her head. These cows think like me, in pictures instead. At a new school that fall, Temple found more support and a teacher who taught her you'll never fall short. When you find what you're good at, like science, you'll soar. And that teacher was right. He had opened a door. So she built a machine like she'd seen on some farms, an invention that hugged her with boards, not arms, because remember, she said she didn't like big squeezy hugs. It worked. She had done it from memory, it's true. And just like the cows, it made Temple calm too. Have you ever seen one of these things that a cow can go in? And see, she built one for herself. And it made her feel safe and secure, just like the cows did. I'm special, she thought, like a bright shooting star. My attention to details could help me go far. Ooh, she's remembering all kinds of things from her time on the ranch. Through her studies, she learned there were farms that weren't so kind. I will help them, she said. Some solutions she'd find. So who's she looking out for? The cows? Yeah. So even though her brain works really differently, it's actually perfect for what she was trying to do. And then something cool, can you guess? Could it be? Off to college she went. A degree? She earned 3. And though ladies weren't experts on farm at that time, do you think that stopped Temple? No way. She did fine. She stepped through that door and went forward, no tears. She took on the world, but at times she had fears. Because some things were scary, like people she'd meet who'd ignore her ideas. And well, that wasn't sweet. But she never gave up, learned her stuff through and through, like why cattle will circle and what makes them moo. To build better farms was her goal. She would do it. Be kind to our creatures. They have feelings. She knew it. And slowly but surely she changed many minds until farm after farm built her awesome designs. Word spread about Temple, her feet's not so small. Temple Grandin, she's grand. She's the grandest of all. Wow, so her life changed a lot, didn't it? Because she had a teacher that believed in her and told her that she would soar and be the best. And she used those pictures in her minds to teach farmers new things that they didn't even know. Now for these things and more, she's won honors and prizes, and a movie was made. That would be pretty cool, right? To have a movie made about you. But the biggest surprise is that girl with the future that couldn't be bleaker. Yes, the once silent girl. She is now a big speaker. Today she spreads hope with her stories and speeches. From New York to Sydney to Rome, Temple teaches. Each person is special, so unique are our minds. This world needs your ideas. It takes brains of all kinds. So here's the lesson. Feeling odd or offbeat, being different might just be what makes you neat. Don't let doubt hold you back, not for 1 minute more. Stand tall and like Temple, march right through that door. And then there's a letter from Temple here that I'm going to read to you. Dear reader, as a child, I was really glad that my mother always encouraged my ability in art. I encourage you to find something you are good at and work on developing it. If you are interested in becoming a scientist like me, find cool new ways to look at things such as microscopes and telescopes, explore nature, think up your own hands on science experiments. Keep learning, especially from your mistakes. Temple Grandin, and that's a picture of her in real life. So this is not a make-believe story. It is a story about Temple Grandin, and there's a timeline of all the different things that she's done in her life. So I have a couple of different things that you could do with this story. So I know that I mentioned research at the beginning of this. I also thought that it would be really cool for you to make a timeline of important things that have happened in your life. So here's what that looks like for Temple. And you can make one for you. Where were you born? What day were you born? What are some things that you've accomplished in school already that you're proud of? What are some things outside of school that you're proud of? Some interesting things about your family. And then at the end of the timeline, you could start drawing things that you would like to accomplish in life. What are goals that you have? Maybe you think like Temple does. Maybe you think in a different way. And what are some ways that you could use that to achieve some goals that you have? And I also have one other thing that I wanted to mention. So I asked one of my daughters to do this as her little assignment with the Temple Grandin story. So I asked her to draw what she thinks of in her mind when she hears these words. So you can get a piece of paper and you can fold it to divide it into 4 pieces, or you can divide it into 8 pieces. You could do 4 on the front and 4 on the back if you wanted to. And I want you to write some words. I've chosen 4 words: school, play, friends, and kindness. You can choose more words. You can ask your parents for some help thinking of words. That I just wanted to know what you think of when you hear these words. So what does your mind think of? And so she drew pictures of what her mind thinks of. Maybe your mind thinks in words, and you just want to write a list of words that you think of whenever you see those these topic headings, and just to compare how your brain might work differently or work similar to Dr. Temple Grandin's. So there's several different things you can do in relation to the Dr. Temple Grandin story, and if you would post whatever you do with it, maybe your thoughts about the story, if you do the 4 square picture or a list of words that you're thinking of, or if you do research or a timeline, if you would post that on social media with hashtag #DistanceLearningCSD. You can also include the Autism Awareness Month hashtag, which is hashtag #KindnessCountsChallenge. If you're going above and beyond that and there's other things that are going on that you want us to see, please make sure you post that so we can all stay in the loop with one another. Also, if you notice someone being kind and you want to give them a shout out, we would love to see that, and you can include the hashtags on that as well. Have a great day.